Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby and have ourselves a drink.
All right, and with that, we are back in the lobby bar for the week of November the 17th, 2025. Brian and Michaela here with you. And Michaela, we had a beautiful weekend here. The weather turned a little bit warmer, right? So you could go outside, you could see the leaves changing. So that was nice. That was nice. It was nice to spend a little bit of time outdoors. How was your weekend? Did you get up to anything exciting?
I did. I did. I had my first experience, believe it or not, in the Carolinas uh, winery extravaganza that they got going on here. So as you all know, I'm from Texas, and we have a Texas wine trail or a Texas wine valley, which I love. I only miss two things about Texas. One is HEB, and two is that wine country. Because for like a third or a quarter of the price of anywhere else in California, you can go and drink some decent wine in Texas, and that's kind of neat. So I was kind of hesitant because all my girls were like, "Hey, let's go to this winery," and it was called Virenay. And it's in Shelby, which is like outside of Charlotte on the on the west side. And I was real skeptical, but I gotta say, Brian, it was actually pretty good. It's actually pretty good.
Yeah, that is good to know. That one is close by here. There actually is a North Carolina like wine region. It rests
Mm.
about 90 minutes north of Charlotte, kind of up there in the foothills. I suppose that it's probably pulling in a lot of the same type of varietals and same type of weather and things as you get in like
Mm.
Virginia wine country, which is
Mm.
also very lovely. It's beautiful up there. It's very hilly and things like that. So if you're going for some ambiance, that's probably good. The wines up there have gotten quite a bit better. I've been told over the last couple of years. I've never made it up there myself, but that is very interesting to me. You know, I spent a couple of years of my life up in Rochester, New York, so just outside of the Finger Lakes, which is at the time a very up and coming wine region of the United States, and has definitely kind of cemented itself there. So it's interesting to see how these wine regions are growing and evolving and changing, especially as our temperatures out there don't seem to be stable at all. So we'll see how that goes. Maybe we'll have to make it up to the actual like winery area of North Carolina sometime and check out a couple of those. But leaves are changing. It's a good time to get outside. It's a good time to have a warm drink. And sit out by like a bonfire, kind of a thing. And I got something today for the lobby bar. It's a little bit more complicated, maybe than a normal lobby bar recipe. But if you're like me, you've been going out to the grocery store over the last couple of days, getting ready for your Thanksgiving meal, and you've been buying just an obnoxious amount of ingredients that you're going to use one time. So why not use them in a hot toddy? So what we're going to do today is we're going to make an apple cider hot toddy. It's going to be perfect for the fall. It's going to be perfect for any gatherings that you might have, and it's probably going to tide you over here as we make our way into the Christmas season. But what you're going to do into a small saucepan is you're going to put in a piece of ginger, about a half an inch piece. Go ahead and peel that, throw that in there. Going to put in, I don't know, a couple of cinnamon sticks, 1.5 cups of apple cider, a quarter of a cup of honey. And if you want, you can put in a pinch of cayenne pepper. Some people like that little bit of
Mm.
heat in there with the sweet apple kind of flavor. So you can skip that if you don't like it. So if you do like it, go ahead and put it in. I'm putting it in mine. I think it gives it a nice kind of spice. Go ahead and bring that up to simmer. Just going to let that steep for about 10 minutes or so. Get all of that flavor in there. And then you can go ahead and strain that out. And then you have your base, basically, of your apple cider there. What you do then is you go ahead and just split that up into some mugs, add in some bourbon, a little squeeze of lemon juice if you want to brighten it up, sip and enjoy. Go ahead and garnish that with an apple if you want to look fancy. I'm not going to bother with that. I'm just going to take my mug of bourbon and delicious simmered apple cider goodness, sit by the fire and enjoy. Michaela, you make some hot toddies. Have you ever done an apple cider specific one, or do you have any other good recommendations for folks out there looking to make some hot toddies this time of year?
Yeah, so I think I've made something similar to this. I really love the addition of the cinnamon sticks here. I love the idea of a little bit of ginger. Um, I think that the cayenne pepper is actually really inspired because if you don't do that, then basically all you got is like warmed apple juice with some bourbon in it, which is still great, right? There's nothing wrong with
Mhm.
that. But
Yep.
I feel like this is a much more like amped up, like modernized, grown up, mature version of what I used to make for Christmas parties. So I'd always have to decide between a glühwein or like a hot toddy cider kind of thing. And usually, to be honest, the glühwein would win out because all I would do is make apple juice that's warm with some bourbon in it. This I cannot wait to try. I think that this is going to be really amazing. And actually, um, uh, you don't, and the great thing about this is you don't have to pick a really high-end bourbon. You can just
Hmm.
go and
Yeah.
get kind of a run-of-the-mill regular bourbon. You do not need high ABV. In fact, I would recommend against that because you're going to want to drink a few of these over the fire. It's definitely something you want to share with others because you're making a big vat of it. I mean, it is perfect for this season of like all the fall things, right? Like going and
Hmm.
looking at Christmas lights or, going and sitting by the fire, all the things like this screams like just, I don't know, coziness. And I love that.
Yeah, absolutely. A couple of pro tips here. You could probably go ahead and make that base up early. If you're trying to, get a bunch together for a party or a big gathering or something like that, so you could make that up, keep it in the fridge, and then reheat it at the time. And the best way, I think, to have your hot toddies or hot ciders or glühwein or whatever that is, if you have like one of those 4 quart crock pots, that's the best place for it. Go ahead and pour it in there. It's going to keep it nice and warm. You don't have to, babysit it over top of a stove or anything like that. So that's my tips going forward there for your hot toddy. This one sounds delicious. I'm definitely going to be making up a couple of these for myself this weekend and enjoying the fall weather. Let's talk about the box office here. So we had a pretty good showing here at the box office for the weekend, led the way by the new film Now You See Me, Now You Don't, which opened with $21.3 million. So a pretty strong showing there. Actually did really, really well internationally as well. I think made a little over $50 million internationally. So there you go there. The Running Man, which is a film we are going to see tonight after we finish recording this, comes in second place with $17 million. Predator, Badlands, Regretting You, and Black Phone still hanging around there, round out the top five. Michaela, we talked about Now You See Me, Now You Don't last week on the lobby bar a little bit. We're going to be talking about The Running Man this week on the main episode. We're going to be talking about the new version of it. We're going to be comparing it to the old version of it. We're going to be talking about the Stephen King of all of it. But The Running Man, it's something I think that we're both looking forward to, and I think we're looking forward to it a little bit more having watched the original just last week. I think the desire to know the differences between this Edgar Wright version and that Arnold Schwarzenegger version from 1984 is just it's getting too much to bear. We're gonna have to go check it out.
We are. We are. I'm very excited to see that. Are you in the Magic game though? Because I had totally forgotten that this was the weekend that Now You See Me, Now You Don't was coming out, until, it was making a splash this weekend itself. And I don't know if I'm going to make it to the theater, but I know my kid would really love to see that one. Are you interested in Now You See Me, Now You Don't? You like the first one, I feel like. Okay.
The first one was okay. Like I would not be opposed to seeing Now You See Me, Now You Don't. It's probably fun. It's probably a good time. It's probably kind of neat. So yeah, it would be a good watch. I think especially this time of year. I don't know about getting out to the theater to see it, but it seems like something that would be good to throw on a weekend as you're either like decorating or getting the house cleaned up for guests or getting the house cleaned up like post guests. Like it seems like something good and fairly mindless that you could just watch and have a good time with. That's my personal take on it. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, I could definitely see it doing okay here for the rest of the week until something comes out. And basically, all five of you films might as well go ahead and take a seat because we've got a couple of things coming out, Michaela. The first one is Sisu, Road to Revenge. That's not the one I mean. I mean Wicked for Good comes out this week. So sit tight, rest of the box office. Take
Right.
take a step back.
All bets
Elphaba
are off.
and Glinda, the Good Witch,
Yeah.
are back to make all their money and
To
probably
make
win
all
all their awards. I don't know.
Yeah, so it's interesting because when we made the calendar for Drink the Movies, right? Like we've revised this calendar for 2025 probably more than any other calendar year. And that's probably a good sign. Because, before we were like, well, what movies are actually going to be out, when we first started this podcast. But now it's like this was supposed to come out the weekend of Thanksgiving. And so
Mhm.
now it's kind of again you had mentioned this and I was like, does it really? Is it that far in the year already? And sure enough, I looked at it and they thought to themselves, selves, it would be better if we went ahead and give everybody the whole week of Thanksgiving vacation in the United States to rake in that money. They were smart. They are smarter than they were at the beginning of the year. So very exciting to see that. I don't know if anything is going to be watched. It'll be interesting. We're gonna see like next week. I just have a bet. It's gonna be Wicked for Good, and then like everything else is like $3.
And then four other versions of Wicked coming in. Second, actually, Wicked re-release made a little bit over $1 million this week there, and yeah, I think the release for Wicked for Good is going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see how they calculate its box office dollars because I've seen like there are like early showings like as early as like Wednesday afternoon, but in order to get that ticket, you have to get it's basically like the double feature ticket, so you have to like commit to going to see both of those, and they have their midnight release and all that stuff. So I don't know if they pushed this up, if it was always this, and we just misunderstood the assignment. I'm not sure. Let's talk about Sisu: Road to Revenge. It looks pretty fun. It looks pretty fun. It is apparently a sequel to Sisu, which came out in 2022, I believe. Film that I'm not familiar with, but the previous four look pretty good, right? It's like a Finnish John Rambo, basically, which is something we talked about over on Patreon, our little live stream where we talked about our 80s action flicks and Predator Badlands. But that's the kind of vibe it's putting off to me,
Yeah,
right? It's like a war
yeah.
veteran kind of thing, but set in the very, very snowy. I don't love watching movies that are set in like the Arctic tundra, to be honest, because they make me too cold to watch.
They make you
I'm a
too
baby
cold.
that way.
Oh,
I don't know. I need a hot
so
toddy
I.
if I go to see Sisu, for sure.
Well, there you go. That's what we should do. Just make like the drink we make if we cover Sisu Road to Revenge is just going to be straight warm bourbon. That's what we're doing. um, so it's interesting. My friend Jeff, I went home I was in Texas for a long time at the beginning of this year, and I saw my friend Jeff, and one of the things that he had recommended was for me to watch the original Sisu. I'd never heard of it, never seen it, had no idea what I was getting into. I loved it. And so when this preview came out, I was like, "Oh my gosh, this looks very similar to that. This can't be the same. It can't be like it was, but it had the same look and feel and vibe. The guy looked really familiar. I was like, "Oh my gosh, did they make this into a sequel?" And they did. And so I'm actually really excited about it, Brian. I think you would really enjoy the first one if you didn't see it. It's kind of got it's just very gritty and it's very there are very few words. I remember
Mhm.
it's just very visually just affecting and I think that you would enjoy it. I'm sorry that they chose an Arctic tundra in the second one, but hey,
Well, that
we'll
is
just
what
give you
it is.
straight
That's
warm bourbon. You'll be fine.
I'll be warm. I'll get what they sell blankets now, I think, at the movie theaters, which is
Yeah,
kind of weird,
for
but
sure.
I'll get one of those. I'll crawl up. And actually, you could watch Sisu Road to Revenge twice in the time you could watch Wicked for Good, so that'll be good. There. So we have those coming out. Last week on the podcast, we talked about Predator, the one, the only, the original, the 1987 version of Predator. And this week we're talking about Running Man, not the 1980 six version, 1987 version of that. We will be talking about the 2025 version of that, and definitely looking forward to seeing it, as we mentioned at the top. Over on Patreon, if you need some bonus stuff, we talk about Predator Badlands and our favorite kind of 80s action movies, what they mean to us, how like important and monumental they were in the 80s. We talked about all that stuff on our new live stream format, which is available over on Patreon. It's patreon.com/drinktomovies. We've got bonus stuff there. We've got cocktail chats. We've got hangouts. And speaking of hangouts, we've got one of those coming up this week for our patrons. So again, check that out. It's patreon.com/drinktomovies. So Michaela, we have some stuff to do. I'm going to make some hot toddies. We're not seeing Wicked this weekend. Spoiler, we're going to see it on Monday because that was the first time we could get tickets for it. So what am I going to do? What are you going to do, Michaela? We're going to make some hot toddies. We're going to rewatch Wicked, and then we're going to go see Wicked for Good next week after we talk about the lobby bar. So thank you so much for joining us, and we'll talk to you soon.